Okay, welcome to the BJJ Business and Leadership Podcast. We're starting today. First guest, Gerson Garvalho. We're working on, both of us working on Brazilian time at the moment, so we're a little bit late shooting this. But yeah, this is the first one, and what we're going to do in this podcast is talk about BJJ and the links to having a black belt mindset. The goal is to get black belts on, talk about their experience in their journey getting to black belt, but also building communities, jiu-jitsu communities, the mindset that's required to get to black belt and how to use that in other areas of life, in business, in training, in health. So welcome, Gerson. For a little bit of background, I first met Gerson in May. Came to visit you for my first time in Dubai. When I visited Dubai, I've since moved to Dubai and part of the team now because it was really welcoming for me to come in and train with you guys. So this is now for you to talk about like your background, how you came to become a black belt and how you ended up where you are.
Well, thanks so much, my brother, to invite me and then to be like the first black belt to come here. I become so nervous because like you need to speak English and then wow, it's too hard. But yeah, let's go. You need to do this.
Exactly.
Thanks so much. I appreciate like you invite me the first, and you are welcome on my team. So I'm very very happy to have you there with us. Help us a lot, help me a lot on the competitions you fought before. You helped me, so that's amazing. And you have a good vibe, so that's why like you have this connection, like that's amazing. Sure. So I'm from Brazil, straight to Maranhão. It's like a small city in Brazil, in the north from Brazil. So I'm a black belt almost now 18 years. Wow. Yeah, so I come to Dubai almost like 5 years, so I travel a little bit around the world, just live this dream, about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you've been in Dubai now 5 years, right?
Yeah, already like 5 years.
Yeah, but I was actually at grading for your team. When was it? On Sunday?
Yeah, it was on Sunday.
And that's something that you've built. I know from me seeing where it's got to, I was here in May, which is only a few months ago. And you had a team there, but it wasn't anywhere near as big as it is now. You've just done a grading for your guys. I think there was more than 70 people in the room, right?
Yeah.
So like you've built. We'll get onto that in a little bit. But how did you end up in Dubai? And then once you got your black belt, well, actually, let's start from your journey from white belt to black belt, because not many people get to black belt. So let's talk about that journey.
Well, where I'm from, I'm a small city. So when I'm start, have like a black belt. So for us, like a blue belt should be like the black belts, like, man, you saw the blue belt. Wow, these guys like the master for us. So, and when I start actually was because of my dad. So my dad, who was like police officer. So he tried to put me some sport like a football, like I try capoeira, but like I don't like these things, Like actually, in the football was like, I can be like the best, I can be good, like in these dreams,
It's a national sport for Brazil, right?
Yeah, it's natural, like so. And then like I was okay, I'm gonna be like a football player. So I my uncle also have this dream. So he almost should be like the football player. Professional, so he don't got this because my grandma stop him to continue on this journey. And then I was this dream, I have his dream in my heart. So and I was like, okay, I'm going to be like a football player. And then, man, I start to play football. Like my dad went one day to watch me like on the play. He looked like, you have to stop this. It's not for you. I was like, why? Like, no, it's not for you. You have to stop. Like, it's not for you. It's like, wow, yeah. But I keep doing, like playing. But one day he come back to home. He went to work, and then he come to home and said like, oh, you're going to jiu-jitsu. So like, what's jiu-jitsu? Like, I don't know what's this. Like, it's gonna be like good for you, like to help you on the self-defense. Like, you're gonna to grow. I said like, well, but why you found this? Like, why? It's like, no, my friend. He's a black belt. This is the only guy have bring jiu-jitsu to the south. So like, wow, cool. It's like the guy's the best. Like on the police office, everyone like, man, bow to him, like he's like a legend. It's like, oh, cool. And then he told to my mom, said, listen, you will go to this gym. I said, okay, cool. And then I'm so excited, like when I have something to do, man, I want to do now. So let's go. And then my mom like, let's go to there. I'm going to bring you to there. Let's see how it's going. Okay, cool. I went to gym, like the small gym, like I think like 5x5, the mat, and like, man, 40 kids inside the mat. And then like, I said, like, Jesus, man, what am I doing here? And then I come, then I talk to the coach, and then he look at me, he's like, you want to train jiu-jitsu? Yes. Like, wow, but not today. And I'm like, man, I had 30 minutes before the class to start, no Brazilian time. And then like, okay, cool. It's like, no, tomorrow. So like, why not today? Like, tomorrow. It's like, okay, cool. Okay, back to home. And then another day, man, I was these things on my mind. Like, man, I need to know what these things. And then my mom bring me back another day. And then when she just dropped me, she doesn't care like what happened there. She no stop to talk to the coach. So just drop me. She back to home. So like, have fun. I was like, wow, okay, cool. But my first professor was Jackson. Man, his guy is like crazy. He's too military. Like, man,
old school.
It's old school mentality. But he loved jiu-jitsu. So sometimes the people thought like, oh, this guy's crazy. What he teach jiu-jitsu? Like, and the city is so small. The mentality of the people was too close. And then I said, okay. And then I talked to him. Said, oh, I come. I wanted to join today. Said, yeah, okay, you're going to join. So, but first of all, why you come to jiu-jitsu? I said, I don't know. My dad said for me come. They're like, all right, fine, let's go. So first of all, you're going to have a test. So like, test? It's like, you're going to do exam? Something in my mind. I like, say, no. The first test you're going to have here, you're going to put the gloves, like the box gloves, and then you're going to fight. I'll be like, what? So yeah. So he bring the kids like 10 years old, Sidney Nelson. This kid, man, was all the kids, he was the best. He was like, everyone looked to him like, man, this guy going to be world champion. Like the kids was pure talent. I said like, he bring him 10 years old. There was like 12. Almost 13, I looked to him, I was like, I'm gonna to kill this kid, man. And then they're like, okay, you have 3 chances, okay? So you have 1 minute each, so you need to hit the kid. So if the kid not submit you before 1 minute, I got like a gym free for you. You're gonna to train free, you're not gonna pay anything. I looked like, what? I'm gonna, yeah, okay, cool, let's go. Bro, in the first, like I wanted to punch like crazy, like a street fight.
Yes, yeah, windmill.
He put me on the ground, take my back, choke. Like 25 seconds. I'm like, what? Look at me, he's like, listen, you have 2 more chances. It's like, wow. So let's go. Again, same thing. But now he like start to play, like he was playing PlayStation, He was sitting, he looked to him, the kids like, Sidney Nelson, take it down. Sidney Nelson, top mount. 2. Sidney Nelson, armbar. I like, man, it was like, like he controlled the kid. I was like, and then I have like a bad situation in my house, like between my mom and my dad. So, like it's not only all police officers have this mentality, but my dad have like strong character, like he hit my mom a lot. And then these things like I building inside like some trouble family, like more the part for them. And I looked to this like, man, and the last chance, like the kid, the same thing. I looked to this like, man, this is going to change my life. I'm going to save my mom's life. Like I can be like,
wow, yeah,
like strong person, and then I can to stop this thing what I does with my mom. So I'm going to push this hard. And then I start to love these things, but it was the bad one, like when you start, like, man, all the kids jump amazing jiu-jitsu, like how the kids play jiu-jitsu was like some like a black belt, like moving fast, these things. But that's why like I come into jiu-jitsu, just about him. And then the second was to save my mom's life.
Wow, that's powerful about your parents. Yeah, and I think, but we've both seen it before, right? When you get into that position, a lot of guys we will see enter the gym, especially now as we're black belts, and we'll see guys come in and they're just coming in, they think they can destroy everyone, or they think they're tough or whatever, and then they can get humbled like that, like you
Easy,
did.
yeah.
Fast.
Easy. Yeah, man, I was like, I have some ego inside. Like, man, I was like a kid from the street, and like, I don't care, let's go. And then like when the kids submit me like 3 times, like in less than 25 seconds, like, what? No way. It was like so humble, like, wow. Yeah, but like, it was amazing time for me. It's like, I be so strong, like I build like a good character, because if I don't enter in jiu-jitsu, actually, I don't know what's going to happen, because my childhood, like my friends, my neighbors was like, man, terrible. So the kids was involved in drugs, like many died, and then because of these troubles. So actually, like jiu-jitsu saved my life. So, in this way.
Yeah. You'll hear a lot of people say that jiu-jitsu saved their life. And I think for me personally, what jiu-jitsu taught me was humility, how to be humble, how to control my ego. Because like you said, you can go into the gym, you think you're tough, and you get taught very quickly that you're not. And where most guys, they can't deal with that. And then they'll just leave. They never come back. Like, I don't want to be humbled again and never go back. And we were talking about it earlier, right? Like to get to black belt, out of all the people that start jiu-jitsu, I think only between 2 and 4% make it to black belt.
Yeah, that's like, actually you talk about this on Sunday on my belt promotion. So especially like in the blue belts, like when you start jiu-jitsu, everyone's like excited to learn, to be like a good jiu-jitsu player. But sometimes the people have too much ego, just think like, they don't think about like develop good skills, develop good movements, develop the technique. The people just think like about the belt. And then 70% these people like receive the blue belt, so they stop. Yeah, halas, it's like it disappear, And then like that's what I told the guys, like when like just like one example, when you buy the land, like you need to buy the land to build you the beautiful house. So it's the same thing. So when you receive your belts, actually like the blue belt, so you need to build your foundation, and then you're going to build a house, and then that's why then the technique. So you have good foundation, and then you develop your skills. So, but many people don't have this mentality to grow. So thing is like, I need to just promote, I need to take the belt, and then I want to be like a black belt. But it's not only that, So actually 70% are going to stop, and then probably like 100 people, like probably like 10 or 5 going to be black belt.
Yes. Yeah. It's so true. And I think, and that's what I want to cover in this podcast, is having that mentality to understand that discipline to get to black belt and what that does, not just for jiu-jitsu, but in other areas of your life. So to get to black belt, whether you compete or you're just training, but to get to that level, you have to be disciplined with your routines. You have to be disciplined with your training. You have to be disciplined with your recovery. You have to be disciplined with your nutrition. So like, what would you say is the difference in your mentality now as a black belt? Obviously, you said you've been a black belt 11 years, 12 years. So those 12 years as a black belt, how does that mentality differ from when you were white, blue, purple belt?
Well, the first of all, like, on my mentality, what I changed a lot was because that I told you, I built like, I come from one place, is small, like the city, everyone's like this. They don't think you grow up. And the second was where I live in my family, where I grow up. So I have these troubles between my mom and my dad. And when I test jiu-jitsu the first time, so like I can save my mom's life. So I then start to growing. But where I live, and then when I start, jiu-jitsu was a little bit like small. It's not the same like now.
Like now. We started jiu-jitsu before it was cool, right?
Yeah, and then like, man, it's so hard now. Yes. Not so hard, but like, I think changed a lot, So my journey just was like, when I got my green belt and then my blue belt, man, I look like I want to do this like for forever. That's going to be my life. So I wanted to run in this life. So I don't gonna say like it was easy, no, but my mentality changed a lot to be like stronger person, and then no shy, because like I was a little bit shy in these things, like to like to talk, like what to tell you, like when you called me like, oh, let's go to do the podcast, like, oh wait, but like I have to go out of my comfort zone, and I think my mentality now it's like a more vision about how I wanted to do for my legacy. You know what you saw in the Sunday. So I wanted to change people's life for you to be better person, humble person, and then you can be successful. So that's why I think like my mentality now is different way from before, where I'm from. Like before, so like when I was blue, I was a little bit like closed, but after that, my vision was closed, and then after that, I start to out like to travel like to São Paulo, like because for us, like man, go to São Paulo, it's like you go to out from Brazil,
another country,
yeah. And then like I was like, wow, I start to see different ways, different black belts, how the mentality, the old school. So that's why like I developed like a lot of skills about be good person, strong person, and then it can grow up everywhere.
Yeah. And it's so true, isn't it? How with that, knowing that you've achieved that, you can travel, because you've traveled all over the world, right?
Yeah.
And you've taught all over the world. And I know you're going to teach seminars in Germany soon, right? You're teaching seminars all over the place. And, for me, I've traveled, I was talking to you before, I've traveled quite a lot this year as well. And going to gyms as a black belt and that jiu-jitsu community, that kind of embracing community. I've gone into gyms in Spain, in Florida with yourself, and just that level of welcome. And you go into the gym and you learn from different people. Different gyms have different styles, but most of the gyms, not all the gyms, we've talked about bad gyms as well, but most of the gyms have that level of respect where, they welcome you onto the mat, and I want to talk about this because we were at your grading, which you very kindly invited me to on Sunday, and you had more than 70 people there. You've built a huge community there, and it wasn't just we'll talk about a gym versus a community, but I saw myself when you were giving the belts out, that you were saying to each, regardless, you had guys being promoted to brown, to purple, to blue. Each of them, you said, the work starts now. It wasn't like, here's your belt, you've completed it. It's like, this is a whole nother level. Now we step up, And I remember I couldn't hear everything that you were saying, but I could hear a lot of what you were saying. It's like telling them how proud you were of them, but also that they have to now work, because that's another level, right?
Yeah. That's why like we talk after about the community. So what I think it's like it's complicated to just work to not build one community, to have like a nice environment, nice family. All right. So that's what I told you. I work for the big facility. So Wellfit is the big facility now, almost in UAE. So what I want, it's just like make beautiful family, beautiful community. The people enjoy go there. It's not just like go there just so jiu-jitsu, okay, commercial gym. No,
yes.
That's I told all my students, the beginner. So listen, guys, if you wanna come in here, just like you think like you're gonna be like commercial, you are in the wrong place. All right. So here you come here, you're gonna to learn jiu-jitsu. You're gonna to see in another way. It's not only about you be the best fighter or you're gonna be like world champion. It's not only about that. You're going to change your life. You're going to see in a different way. You're going to develop new skills. So you're going to make new friends, real friends. Like you come here just not like when you have a problem and then like, okay, I wanted to go to jiu-jitsu. No, you want to go there because you love the place, because the people, when you come, the people hug you. It's like, oh, my friend, how are you doing? You saw like how it's going there.
For sure.
So that's why I work hard to build my community on like one family. It's not only one jiu-jitsu team. It's like a family. So that's why I love it. like my team. You saw like I'm a little bit like man, like jealous about my team. You know, like
Yes.
I'm a little bit like no, because I care. And then when you saw like in the reading like what I say, it's like I know one by
Each
one,
person,
yeah, each
100%.
person there.
Yeah.
So I know my people. So before I was like so afraid, you know, when the belt promos before I start. So all the people like, oh, how you feel? You feel okay? So like, yeah, but I'm feeling nervous. Like I don't know what I'm going to say because my English are probably gonna be like bad. I'm not gonna I cannot explain something properly. And then my friend said like, man, you don't have to do this. You speak English. Just go there and then do your job. You know, like say yeah. And then I talked to one friend or so about these things. Like, oh, you are okay? You're ready? I say yes. You write something for you say. I say like, listen, I'm not going to write something and then I wanted to read that. No, I don't want to do that. So I wanted to bring in my heart.
100%.
You know, like I bring my heart there. I wanted to say everything what I'm feeling the day, what I know each person. And then what that happened, you know, like the amazing environment, amazing vibe. The people look like, wow, man, that's amazing. It was like a natural, you know, like I'm very proud of what I built. I hope you can build more there.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's funny, you've just reminded me of a story then when you're talking about having perfect English or perfect language. Sometimes we think it needs to be perfect. Like even with this podcast, I should have started this podcast a long time ago, but I wanted it to be perfect. And now it's like, no, we need to just get it started, you know, and it will develop, you know. And I remember, similar to you, when I was in Spain, I think I was in Spain in May or June, I joined a gym. The professor there, Brazilian from Manaus, right? He was talking, I was I'm Spanish, but I don't speak perfect Spanish, right? So I'm still learning Spanish. He was talking a hybrid of Portuguese and Spanish. So it's difficult enough for me to try and speak Spanish.
And then
But he's doing...
how can you call it? Portuñol.
Portuñol, yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to listen really close. I've got no idea what this guy's saying. And then at one point he said, Mike, I need to go to the toilet. You run the class. And I was like, what? I speak Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish perfect. And I've got all these guys there in front of me. They're just looking at me. But it's like you're saying, we're nervous at the beginning. But all the students, if you build a good community, they want to help, right? So I'm there saying, okay, right, you need to extend the arms so you can hyperextend the, how do you say this? And they're like, oh, codo, you know, and you know, or muñeca, or whatever it was. Like I was thinking, oh no, I need to be perfect. But when you have a good community, they'll help and they want to learn from you. Like the black belt or whatever it is. You don't have to be a black belt to be a teacher, but you know, that earning that level of respect from your students. And I think
like another thing, it's like when you do everything what you love, you know, like when you put your heart, doesn't matter how you're going to explain. Everyone going to understand perfect.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
So that's why, like, I'm not a little bit, but I'm so perfectionist. Like when I want to show something, I want to show properly. And then, for example, warm up. Man, you need to be in line. You need to do this, you know, like. And then, like the same way when I told you, like, man, you want to go there to do the podcast, like, oh, gonna be hard, man. You know, like because I cannot, like, I record me, do some position, explain some position. I cannot watch. Like, man, when I saw, like, I speak some, like, wrong words, like, what the hell, what does it say? You know, like, I'm not going to post this. Like, I'm a little bit, like, afraid what the people going to say, what the people going to talk about me. So, like, and then I started after, like, have a lot of conversation with many people, like, you need to change this, man. It's like the people not pay your bills, you know?
Exactly.
So you have to go there and then do your job. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So look how you do. You teach well. You can explain something. Why are you going to be afraid? And then it's like, wow, I need to stop these things.
100%. I think sometimes we worry about the 1% of people who aren't going to pay your bills. And you forget that there's 99% of people out there who are just want to see your content. They want to learn from you. They know that you're a leader in your field.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not worrying about the 1% and focusing on the 99%. And yeah, it's just leading by that example. Like I said, with your community, and you're off to do seminars now, and you know, you've traveled all around the world with jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, I traveled a little bit. It was my first country I lived was Peru. So man, Peru was so fun. I was same like you. Like imagine I went to the country, I don't speak the language. It's like a similar like mine, but like Habib, you're not going to say that like probably way. And then I have like some mistakes or so like about the language when I was there, because when you explain some things, like different things, same like what you say, this is a kodo, and then this is a kulu. So like, yeah, it's like similar. I did like these mistakes. Imagine, like, man, I gotta explain something, like the person show me like the body. The first day, the lady was working the reception, so the owner come to me and said, Gerson, you need to learn Spanish, right? So how probably like you can start in the body. So like, oh, cool. Fine, let's go. Okay. And then, man, I sit with her in the reception, and the chair near the reception. And then she designed the body, and then she started to put the names, you know, like Cuello, Codo. Okay, cool. And then she just this. I said, fine. And then I repeat one time. I take, throw out. She's like, oh, you're crazy. You need to learn this thing. Like, it's like, yeah, I learned. It's fine. Already I know. Like,
I
you
remember.
don't know. Like, no. I said, yeah, man. She was so mad. And then I was explaining the position. And then imagine, like, man, this is Kodo. This,
Cool.
you know,
Yeah.
culo.
Yeah.
And then I said, like, guys, listen, you need to agarrar en lo culo, en lo codo. I said, oh, Jesus Christ, man. And then my friend Rafael was the other black belt. I had played him. He was like shouting, Gerson, it's a codo. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, everyone like, ah. Man, I was so embarrassed. Like, Jesus, what I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
But like, that's, you learn the mistakes, you know, like, and then I start to understand more about the language. And then for me, it was like, man, big step, like to learn one different language, and then like, and then doing what I love to do, you know, like it was jiu-jitsu. Then like, it was amazing time. So that's how I live like in Peru. I live in Ecuador. I went to Chile for some seminars, and then I traveled to Germany. Now imagine Germany, the people not speak English. I don't was speaking English this time. And then like just Germany, imagine. So like, man, it's like a jiu-jitsu body language. You know, you need to explain on the position like I'm doing. And then the people look like, oh, okay, I do this, that. So, and then after that, I went to Thailand. The same, like I don't have anyone. So imagine you was in Europe, and then you try to stay there. And then you start to study Germany. And then like I went to this school. And then in the end, you cannot stay. Man, it was like 1 week. You have to leave. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have money. I was like 100 euro in my hand. And then my friend, where I teach jiu-jitsu on his gym in Wolfsburg, helped me. He posted like just to go to Thailand. I said like, how, man? I don't have money. He's like, don't worry, let's go. You're going to do this. And then I buy my ticket because I work with him. And then like he gave me some money. This money I bought a ticket. And then like some 2 guys in the gym give me like 100 euro, another 100. I got like 200. And then say like, Justin, that's money you go to Germany. And then I go, oh, to Thailand. So like, wow, man. I was like, okay. And then my friend posted the group in Thailand, BJJ group. Oh, my friend black belt, he go to Thailand, la la la. And I said, okay, cool. The guys, man, a lot of people send a message. Oh, come to my gym. I do this, I give 2 bike, I give food, I give money, do this, do that. And then I choose one, was like, amazing deal. Bike, food, place to sleep. I said, like, I'm a king.
I've got all I need.
This one, Habibi.
Yes,
and then, like,
yeah.
man, you know, like, that's why, like, sometimes, like, special for us, like, black belts, the people just wanted to get something good, you know, good deal. This is going to be amazing for me. But not like that. And then like I chose these guys, and then the guy, okay, come, cool. Man, I traveled to Rome. I was competing in Italy. And then after that, I traveled to Thailand. And then the day I was in the airport, I called the guy, said, "Oh, I'm on the way to Bangkok." And then I go to Chiang Mai in Thailand. And then like the guy said, like, "I'm so sorry, Gerson. I'm going to fight in Singapore. And then, man, I'm not going to be here like for 2 weeks." What? Man, I have like a 200 euro. I was like, "Man, what am I going to do? I don't know anyone in Thailand, you know, like, it's like, I'm so sorry." And then when I went to the group and then I talked to one guy, he was called Niti. Man, this guy for me, it's like was my dad in Thailand, you know, like I have a bigger respect for him. So I sent message to him, said, "Niti, sorry, man, this happened." And then he looked at me and said, "Listen, Gerson, this is my address. Just come, take the tax, show the tax, and then come to here." So like, oh, cool, man. I arrive there, go there. And then these things you see, like, man, you travel a lot of times, you know, like, this is amazing. So, and then you go to Thailand, and then I went to Penang, and then after I come here. So, man, this is the big journey.
Yeah. And I bet at the beginning when you first started traveling, that was scary, right? To be able to go to different places and not know how you're going to live, how you're going to stay. But then I know for me in the jiu-jitsu community, there's always a lot you can take from it. There's always someone willing to help, you know, because they want to learn, especially at black belt level. They always want to learn. You know, there's always people that are willing to learn. There's always people that are willing to help, you know. So I'm sure you're much more comfortable traveling now. I know you're going to, where is it that you're going to?
I'm going to Germany.
You're going to
so
Germany.
When I went to Magdeburg, I lived there before, then Wolfsburg, then Hamburg.
And is it a seminar in each place?
Each place I have one seminar. So gonna be amazing. Like as I told you, I choose Europe this year to travel a little bit because I wanted to make some network. I wanted to learn more from the people. It's not just about I show my knowledge, you show my jiu-jitsu. It's just like to learn each place I know I'm going to learn something. You know? Then it's special, like I'm going to have a Vitus team on the seminar. You know, I'm going to share, like, they're going to teach one day before and then another day is me. So, man, that's for me, it's like a big step, like a big network. So, it's going to be amazing.
That's great. That's some big names. And, you know, being able to travel and teach seminars and share your knowledge. And I think it's so important to realize that the quote, I don't know if you've heard the quote, that's the more we learn, the more we realize we don't know.
That's true.
You know, and I think as you go up the belts, to have that humility, to have that desire to learn. Like every time I go to a different gym, there's a slightly different style. You know, you might feel good in your jiu-jitsu and then you go to one gym and they're specialists in leg locks. Another gym, there might be specialists in Berimbolo or De La Riva or something like that. And there's always, how did you do that? You take from that, you know. And I think that mindset of not just teaching, sharing your knowledge, because we understand that we got our knowledge from people who shared it with us. So we're ready to share, you know, like people, you know, you had a team. How many was it who fought in the World Pro?
Oh, World Pro was like 14 people.
14 people.
14 people,
like crazy, that massive team.
It was like white belts.
Yeah.
So, man, it was amazing to see the people, you know, like step in the big stage.
Yeah.
And then like, man, doesn't care what's gonna happen. And then many people like, man, did a good job. So like, I'm very proud. Like, okay, we don't got like medals, but like, man, the guys fought so amazing.
Oh yeah, and that's because of their trust in you. You know,
yeah, that's the amazing
leading the team.
Step, and then like big achievement for me.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I remember me and you nearly lost our voice at that,
at that event. Yeah, like the guys went teasing. You're gonna have to understand, like, hey, do that, do this, do that. Man, I lost the voice. The guys like, what was fun, you know?
Yeah, it was great. It was
like,
great.
Wow, man, that's the way you need to work.
100%. It's like what you have, you kind of give it back, right? Pay it back. So in kind of conclusion there, because this has been awesome, like so first off, where can people find you?
Well, I work in a WellFit in JVC, so almost 2 years I'm there now. So if you want to find me there in Jiu-Jitsu, you want to train, please come to WellFit in JVC. You're going to be welcome. Or you can to search me in the Instagram, Gerson Garvalho BJJ. So you can send a message, you can follow me back, please.
We'll put the link of that because he just said that very fast in a Brazilian accent.
Yes. Please, you can search me on Instagram, Gerson Garvalho BJJ.
And anyone you want to mention? Anyone you want to
Well,
thank?
just like I want to say thank you all my students. So it was like amazing year. So I'm very proud of everyone. Did good work, and that's the way we need to work, you know. So one more year coming. So I expect like a lot of things good for us the next year. So I wanted to say thank you for my sponsor, 20x3 BJJ. This is my brand of the geese.
Yeah.
So that's guys.
I
if
need
you
to get
also
one of those.
please,
Yeah.
you can search me there. 20x3 BJJ.
We'll put the links
official
to this. Yeah.
All right, and then also about like I have my sponsors, Surfy Dubai. So the guys work in the board surfing, surfing like the board. Wakeboarding.
Wakeboarding. There you go. Yeah. I don't do that stuff.
Yeah. You're going to do it.
I need to learn.
I'm going to bring him. So we have these guys to support us, and then the Time Pod. So if guys you need some place to bring your dogs, please. Time Pod in GVC also. Okay. So and that's people I wanted to say thank you to trust on my job and then help me a lot, guys. And you, bro, thanks so much. I'm appreciate for you. You take your time for me and then bring me here and then start to talk a little bit about this thing. So I think gonna be amazing for us. I know gonna be like more time, so come here to talk more. Yes, I know we don't have too much time, but thanks so much. I appreciate it. So you come to us, training, help us. Like what I told you, like I fought and then you was like there every day, help me in the competition. You come help me in the warm up, like just let's go. I appreciate everything what you do, and then you did on this year with us.
I appreciate that, and it was a pleasure. Like it's been to be here and be welcomed into the team. It's great, you know, because I'm away from home. You know, I've only just recently moved to Dubai, and we were talking about this before. Is that one of the big things about your community? What you've built is that a lot of people come to Dubai by themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's like quite a transient community, and to be made to feel welcome, to be part of the thing, you know. You invited me along to the competitions, to the gradings, everything like that. I feel part of the team, so thank you for that as well.
Welcome, anytime.
All right, well, that's it. First podcast done. Well done. We made it. Brazilian time.